Today we're going to have a little look at the row validation feature in Stitch Mastery. What the row validation feature does is to calculate the number of stitches that each row or round uses and produces. What we mean by that is how many stitches you need to have on the needle to work the row accurately, and how many stitches you will have on your needle after you've worked the row correctly. Now obviously, for a chart to be workable, the next row needs to use the same number of stitches as was on the previous row when you'd finished working it. Otherwise you could have too many stitches left at the end, or you won't have enough stitches to work your chart. So Stitch Mastery checks this very easily for you, completely automatically. In the bottom left hand corner we have the outline at the moment, but if you click the small icon here, you get the row validation. So at the moment my chart is all workable. From one row to the next, the number of stitches produced matches the number consumed in the next row. So as you can see in my row 2, there's a few increases, and we go from consuming 11 stitches and producing 15, and the next row uses 15 stitches. But if we pop in, let's say, a spare purl 2 together, that means that at the end of my row 6 I'll have 1 stitch fewer than I started with, which would be fine if the next row was 1 stitch shorter than row 6, but of course it's not. So at the moment the chart is showing my row 5 consumes 15 and produces 15, but in order to work my row 6 I would need to have 16 stitches, and as you can see I'm not starting that row with 16 stitches, I'm starting it with 15 stitches. I have two options. I can add an extra increase, or I can just change this one to a knit, and automatically the validation feature corrects itself. And just to note that you'll see my chart here has a repeat, and Stitch Mastery does check this as well. In the drop down arrow, if you have a repeat included in your row, you can check the precise stitches in that. Something else to note is that if you're designing a chart where you have your wrong side rows hidden, so for instance a lace chart where the wrong side rows are plain knit or plain purl, then you won't find that your wrong side rows are automatically checked, but you can specify that you would like those to be checked in the row validation. The way to do this, it's set in your written style sheet. So I've come to Tools and Preferences, and making sure the drop down menu is open, click on Style Sheets. Now on this machine I don't have a custom user written template, but if I click on the edit of the default one just to show you, we have the option to tick or untick the ignore hidden rows, and that will, if you untick that, that will mean that your wrong side rows are included in the row validation check. If you feel that you want more room to see your outline text, you can move this around. I'll link in the description below to a video that shows more options for rearranging your drawing area, but for instance you can have this open to the side of your chart as you're working. You can also drag this down so that you get all of your rows